actually first heard about them last fall or last winter, and when on Facebook pictures were going around, I'm like, oh, I want one, but I'm not handy, so there was just no potential for that to happen. And then we have an email listserv for our community, and the note went out that there was one, just put up, and I'm like, oh, it's 1 block away.
I originally built a library to honor my mother, and I built one and put it out in the front yard, and I never planned on building another one. It was just one and only. What amazed me is that men, women, kids, young and old, went up to the library, and you know how people will pitch their voice when they see a little puppy or a little child. That's what happened when they saw the Little Free Library. They would go, oh, cute, lovely. And so I always thought that kind of reaction to puppies was like a finer piece of humanity, or a finer slice, or a nicer peek into humanity. And so I was fascinated by that. And so I had called my friend Rick Brooks in Madison, who works for UW Madison Extension, and I talked to him about this idea, and we decided to try a couple in the Madison area.
Todd showed me the library that he built in the memory of his mother. He built a one-room schoolhouse and put books in it, and almost every person who saw it said, that's neat, I'd like one of those. And the movement was born in a way, just person by person. And that was the interest that I had.
It's just a perfect idea, but it is a way to connect on common ground that feels communal and simple and really beautiful. It's a way of sharing and talking that people haven't explored, I think, in the same way in years.
I've had a couple of people say to me, oh, I thought that was a bird feeder out there in front of your house. I said, it's not a bird feeder, it's a brain feeder.
You're usually happy to find one book or several that you would like to read. And most people tell us it's serendipity, the surprise, the treat of finding something. It's kind of like a treasure hunt when you go and visit it.
Our original goal was to start out, and we thought, well, Andrew Carnegie built 2,509, we'll build 2,510. And then we'll have the largest library network in the world, and of course a little bit smaller, but they're quite effective. It's a lot less expensive for heating and maintenance and taxes and so on. But anyway, we thought we'd get there by 2014, and we really, by the first part of August, we figure we'll have just went way past Andrew Carnegie, and we'll be moving towards 2,600, etc.
The history of this idea really has taken first 5, 10, 20 people, and now thousands of people. And our job is to organize the goodwill and energy of lots and lots of people who share a common interest with us.
I heard about the Little Free Library last about August when a college friend named Mary sent me a link about this. She just said, do you know about this, Helen? And I actually didn't, and I loved it. We were at that time thinking about what was going to be the memorial for our son Benjamin, who had died in October 2010. And I immediately said, this will be the memorial.
I first heard about the Little Free Library movement from friends in Minneapolis. I visited the website and discovered that there were actually no Little Free Libraries in the Southeast at the time. And so just from the information that was on the website, I made the decision to put one up.
Well, I've been looking for an Eagle Scout project for a while now, and we noticed these things popping up around our neighborhoods, and it wasn't until I saw a story on the news with Todd, the founder, on there, that I decided that I wanted to do it for my Eagle Scout project. We decided to build 12 Little Free Libraries. Each one's going to be focusing a point of the Scout law. I thought it was a good idea because it really helped out the community and it really is the purpose of an Eagle Scout project, to strengthen your community and do a project that will last for years and other generations to use. And I thought this would be a perfect project for that.
We get a kick out of it. We've been called by the Huffington Post to be a growing international phenomenon. And I've thought about that and a lot, and I've realized what a movement or a phenomenon like that, you know, it moves. People move it. Neighborhoods move it. Communities move it. So it's just gaining momentum.
The thing that intrigued me about it, having moved to this neighborhood relatively recently and not knowing too many people, was that it was a way to bring neighbors together who might wave as they drove by, but this kind of gets them to slow down, stop, take out a book, and maybe starts a little conversation.
It was really a great reminder for us of how when you find things in common to people you have around, it becomes so much easier to meet them. And you know, we always thought about the people that walk their dogs in the block and they meet other people out there doing the same thing. And for us, it was the library, because every time we came out to put a book, and we would see someone that would be coming in the block and they'll stop to talk to us. And it was just an easy, comfortable way to meet people in this block.
I think all of as humans, I think we all tend to have a part of us that wants to do something to help other people. And what better thing can you do besides giving knowledge? And I think it's nothing but good. You can't see anything bad coming out of reading. And being a part of it has just really, really, really ignited a passion of mine to see children read.
I like the relatively open nature of it. You don't have to get a permit, you know, there's no library card, there's no overdue fines. If somebody takes a book and doesn't return it, it doesn't matter. So there's, in a society where we sort of feel the continuing encroachment of rules and you know, necessary procedures, here's one that's pretty, you know, no limits.
One of my neighbor girls, when she was 10, had come over and told me that a man, woman, and child had filled a big bag with many, many books and took them away. She said, "Sage, they stole the books. They stole your books." And I said, well, first of all, they're not my books. Second of all, they're free, so you can't steal something that's free. And this is one of Todd's quotes. And that, I think, really made an impression on her.
One of the fun things for us was the day that we put the library up. Todd and his wife, Susan, came down, met us, and Todd and I worked on installing the library in its current location. And once we'd finished that, we were off on the side with Margaret, the director, the executive director of Freedom Park, talking. And I noticed, I don't know, within 5 minutes or so, a boy rode up on his bike and thought, you know, what's this? And opened it up and started looking in the books. And I thought,
It was magical.
yeah.
The Little Free Library it's a place to stop. It's an oasis of sorts. I've seen people, there's a girl, I think she's about 15, 16 years old, who I realize when she comes up to the library, it's a destination for her. It's not necessarily just something where people pass by and happen to stop. There's another woman down the street who this is a destination for her. She comes down here every few days and picks up a book and then goes home. And when I'm outside and people stop, it gives me the opportunity to, hi, you know, did you find a book today? What kind of books are you looking for? Is there anything, do you have any books at home that you'd like to share? And again, when people are invited to participate, because even with something like this, with signs up, people don't always read signs. When they realize they can share too, they're much more willing to.
Now that we're coming around to being stewards of Benjamin's Books Little Free Library for almost a year, and because we have such a sad story with the death of our son, I would say I'm feeling healing from this choice of being a memorial for Benjamin. It's given to me a great deal.
Part of the reason it's been so viral or such a phenomenon is it's a door opening to show you how much people want to really engage and work with each other, the Facebook with the face. And I think it's a good example of how we need to figure out how to keep that open and open it wider. And so I think in many ways, Little Free Library is just a little key opening to something that we all know we need, and it's emphasizing how important it is.
Todd has a really big picture mind for this thing. He's building a lot of them in his backyard. It's kind of crazy how many he has. You know, I think the project probably wouldn't be able to be where it is at without him right now. You need a person like that to be able to keep it going forward and have the right goals and mindset that he does to continue this project.
Anyone watching this may say, that's a neat idea, what can I do? And the answer is, get one, build one, paint one, fill one with books, help someone else get a Little Free Library. It's almost that simple. It doesn't take 22 steps, and you don't have to go to college to get a library. All you have to do is say, I want to be part of that, and that's the beauty of it.
I just can't thank Todd Bowl and the founders of this program. I just cannot thank them enough, because it's really a wonderful thing for us here in this little town as we're trying to pick up and move forward and make it a really good and a friendly place for families. And I'm especially proud of our children here, and they come to my house twice a week for popsicles in the afternoon, and so now it's popsicles and a book, because I have one of the Little Free Libraries across the street from my house. So I would say, if you can, put up a Little Free Library. It's a good thing.